Not a carrot pigeon with my nudes? Where my nudes at? Is that how they did it back then? Just, oh, please. Is this the Playboy magazine? I ruined it. How y'all doing? It's your boy JC and welcome back to some more Perfumare. We getting up in here. Shout out to PDR, shout out to Balcony. I believe we're in chapter 4 or chapter 5. I think we're in chapter 5, if I'm not mistaken. We're almost done. We're almost done, guys. Home stretch. I know a lot of people don't watch the Perfumare series, which is okay, but we're almost done. We're almost done to see Reed's route and then see if we can get a chapter 7 with Laurent. But I just wanted to finish the game, bro. I wanted to do it correctly. It's a long demo, bro, but it makes me wonder how Perfumare Evulsion's full game is gonna be. I wonder if they're gonna shorten it up, you know, because if this is just the demo alone, I wonder how long a big full game would be. But yeah, we just confirmed that Reed got black Air Forces on. He's just on that type of timing, bro. We can't handle his energy, guys. Yeah, we're on chapter 5. He's on a roll. It's clear as day you won't succeed in talking him down. Not when he's like this, tense and wrong tight. And wrong tight. I love being wholesome, but desperately trying to cover it up with humor. You tempted him to let him win the argument, only to skip all the verbal jousting that is bound to happen if you don't put it into it first. You can't, in good conscience, ignore the way he's been acting. I just think we should. You don't get to finish. Lightning fast, Reed releases the steering wheel, flings his hand on to the rested over yours. See? Take your hand off of me, boy. His skin is cold, as it always is, but his fingers are firm when they brush over your wrist. Steady. They are steadier than your own. You believe me now? You have to. You might have not many tells, but the few he does have already impossible to hide. If he was truly out of it, you know. Come on. He takes a hand back to put his seatbelt on, squinting at you until you yield and copy his action. What you do eagerly. You don't fancy another near-death experience. 2 is plenty for a lifetime, not to mention one night. Reed takes your silence as both an agreement and explicit permission to start the vehicle. He reverses off the pavement with one smooth slide and continues guiding the car back on the road. Where are we going? You know the abandoned underground parking lot near the ED hospital? How could you not? It was a development worth over $2 million, a botched work that never got finished. The investor ran off with more than half of the money, and the contractor had to file for bankruptcy. The place stands empty since then, and nobody cares enough to fix that death trap. What's more, some people are even using it. Well, the parts that are somewhat finished. It is a nice hiding spot, though, and a very secure one, isolated, and even amidst the tumult of the city. It's too late for the school kids to have a rave there. Who the freak has raves, bro? Like, that is where COVID is living, bruh. That nigga COVID got a beard and everything, unkept hair, chilling. You haven't shaved his balls and he's in your hand shaking all the white gothic kids. It should be fun. Should be. But seeing how well your evening is going, you shudder to think what else could happen. Either way, you're going to find out soon enough. Your destination isn't far from the club. A couple of minutes and 6 not so long streets later, you notice a large concrete entrance looming in the distance. Reed's keeping up a good front, making sure to chat you up while he parks the car. But he seems to forget how easily you can see through him, and that's not counting his scent. A peculiar blend of acerbic and saline that makes you hesitate before getting out of the car after him. Do you want me to stay, or should I? You could come. He flashes you a quick smile that melts off his face when he thinks you're no longer looking. If you don't mind getting an earful. What do you mean? He's gonna meet Flavio. He shakes his head, eluding your question. Let's go. I want to get this over with. He waits until you join him on the driver's side of the car. Before he closes the door. A quick glance inside shows the keys still sticking out of the ignition, ready to be used. Bert's preparing for a quick in and out meeting, but the anxiety makes him clumsy and distracted. And though you have an inkling as to why, keep your thoughts to yourself. For now. Regardless of the strong odor of the exhaust fumes in the patrol, the parking lot is completely vacant. The earthy smell of mold and fungi grows stronger the lower you descend. Reed walks 2 steps ahead of you, keeping an eye on the protruding darkness thinned by the faint shine coming off the greenish energy efficient ceiling light. In the vast empty space, your footsteps don't make a sound. Which is why the moment you hear the quietest of sounds, Reed pushes you back behind the pillar and steps forward, not giving you any time to prepare yourself. The Sifling of shoes on the rough concrete stops, and someone asks, "Oh, there it is. Flavio." Yup, famous Flavio. Oh, it seems you were right about your assumptions. It's been years since you saw Reed's brother, not counting in the run-in with him and his partner in the morning after he botched the deal with Victor. Kind of funny now. It's kind of embarrassing how wary you were of Flavio, how suspicious you found him to be when you caught him following you around the town, no doubt unaware of your memory loss. Flavio with his black shirt that balances the thin edge of the workplace dress code, and the jacket that is so far outside of it, you're not sure how he has managed to cling to it for as long as he has. Sentimentally, you get it because you know it was a gift from his brother, a reminder of the times they still, well, talked. But you always thought of the SPD to be a law-abiding to a fault. It's strange to see them so lenient with one of their agents, allowing small mercies and not punishing him for them. Alright. The aroma of freshly cut grass and petrichor that reaches you so abrupt and unexpected you have to look up at the large cracks in the ceiling to make sure it's not in fact raining. Large cracks in the ceiling, guys. She's talking about the sky. The scent of joy fades, replaced by the dry aroma of salt water, too potent to be artificially, coming strongly from both Flavio and Reed. Say blah blah blah. Even Flavio's tone remains as teasing as it was a second ago. He called his brother's name. His grin wavers. Oh, that's his brother's name. Reed's stoic facade doesn't crack him, but the way his fist clenched behind his back is clearly an indicator of not only stress but anger as well. He has a knack for looking relaxed when he isn't, but you know where to look in all of his nervous tics, scarce as they are. Alright. Flavio's answering laughter is an echo of his brother's usual one, like brass bells carried on the wind, half melodic, half hollow. It takes Flavio to one look at Reed to cut it short. You don't know what a manner or expression shows up on Reed's face when it turns away to confront his brother, but it can't be anything pretty. Flavio snorts, obediently ceases his teasing. Right? He sounds surprised when he says it, brows climbing high on his forehead, before he notices you, half shrouded in the darkness. His mouth stretches in a mile-long smirk as he addresses his brother without taking his eyes off you. If he was hoping to get a rise out of Reed, he is more than successful. Still blah blah. Reed snarls, taking a wide step to the left, shielding you from the view. But the only reaction Flavio gives him is yet another wave of laughter. Alright. He repeats his tone, stuck between worry, amusement, and insult. Amusement wins eventually, and he places his hand over his chest, right where the heart is, narrowing his eyes in a mockery of a frown. Okay, Reed's fuming with rage. It thickens, his voice lowers it to a low, chilling timbre. Okay, Flavio's fed up with his brother's tantrum, lifts both of his hands in placating gesture, more playful than actually intimidated. He's playing with his food, Reed. Calm down, bro. This is why you're not my lover. You need to chill out. Please pay him no mind. Dang, now you got him calling you a dog. Calm down, he's just a little puppy. Like, bruh. Says louder, waving to you in the same over-dramatized way you remember from the intersection. One that leaves you with no choice but to step out of the shadows. You know how he gets when he's in one of his moods. Dang, you son of a... See, look at you. You just adding salt to injury. That's your mother too. Please, she was many things, but she was never a mother. Dang, brother, y'all got two mothers or something? And Flavio's expression shatters. It's a ghastly sight, but you can't bring yourself to feel compassion. Or pity. Nor pity. From what Reed told you about their mother, you can only wonder how Flavio can stand to remain in contact with her. Even after she walked out on them when Reed was just a baby, abandoning them to a man who spent his days working himself half to death only to disappear into casinos for weeks, leaving little children to fend for themselves. Sounds like a tragic anime backstory. Don't me. Reed's wrath is a vicious thing, a scalding and volatile state that takes a hold of him hastily and doesn't let go. I'm not here for a effing family reunion or whatever you think this is. Bro, you need to calm down, dog. Like, control that chi, bruh. When I said I needed a favor, I fucking meant it, alright? I didn't save it. He scoffs, gulping down a deep, shuddery breath, before turning to you with an expression you've only seen on his face twice since you've met him, and always caused by his brother. Nigga senpai. Your name's particularly soft in his mouth, like he can't bear to say it in any other way, no matter how the wrath he's feeling right now. And maybe he does that unconsciously. It's possible to guess. You can show him. He means a receipt. What else? You want to ask before. The only link Reed has to SPD is Flavio, so it was an easy connection to make. So if y'all wanted to see their conversation, you little crap, this is the way you talk to your brother? Brother, man, don't be an idiot. You're a dickhead. Dang. Enough. You're late. For the last time, don't call me that. Did you come alone? Ah, there she is. The one who stole your heart. Still you piece of... Oh my god. See, this is confirmation that he likes me. But I rejected him! Haha! He means a receipt. What else? Despite their strained relationship, Reed trusts his brother, and that's enough for you to follow his example. You retrieve the document quickly, approaching the brothers and halting between the two of them with your hand outstretched. You let Flavio pluck the receipt off you. Then, when he's busy reading, you take a half a step back, stopping when your hand touches Reed's. You don't need to feel the way his body trembles. You can smell the misery on him well enough. Ugh. Imagine smelling it too. He broke and hated America, and you can smell the misery. He inches nearer to you, pressing his arm against you, like he's ready to grab you and run away any second. The receipt to be damned. Rosie. Flavio frowns at the receipt, tilting his head in puzzlement. What? Are you surprised that one of yours is apparently working on the side as well? She's not one of us anymore. She was promoted to Department of National Finances, and that makes her above suspicion. A promotion. Well, no. Humming, Flavio raises his shoulders in half a hearted shrug. I need to look into it more before I could say for sure if she's really involved or not. Yeah, right. If only there was proof of her actions, Like a effing receipt. Don't be a brat. We know it might be forgery. Well, you know you more than me, isn't that so? Flavio doesn't catch the sharp grind of Reed's teeth, but you do. The reminder of your fake ID, intended or not, sits like a heavy weight in the bottom of your stomach. You know you can trust Reed, but you're not comfortable discussing that matter with Flavio. So you change the subject back to what really matters. When can you get back to us? Flavio purses his lips, eyes falling back to the receipt. Don't know. 2 days? That long? I'm not a miracle worker. Clearly. Out. You don't want to butt in, but their bickering won't lead to anything good. Not with how upset Reed is already. Then we'll stay in touch. Okay. Reed sighs through his nose. Reed? He mutters as his brows furrow with a poorly concealed frustration. Then it's settled. Flavio claps his hands together, scrunching the document before he realizes his mishap. The expression shifts into something more genuine. The small sheepish smile appears to be the first real one since the meeting started. Do you mind if I take it? He asks, straightening the crumbled corner between his thumb and middle finger. Game. How many critical choices you want to do? Alright, brother. I'll give it to you. I'll trust you. Not at all. It's not like you can find any use for the document. Besides, just carrying it in your notebook. Thanks. Flavio folds the receipt haphazardly, quickly pushing it into his wallet, then stuffing the whole thing back into the pocket of his dark jeans. Cool. Are we done yet? Reed interrupts, tugging at your arm to get you moving. Well, yes. Flavio pats his pocket in twice, in quick succession, before sending you a grin. And now that business is concluded, I'm thinking... No. Reed interjects immediately, placing a hand on your lower back and guiding you to the entrance, not gracing Flavio with another glance. You didn't let me finish. We're not interested. Another time then? Not freaking likely. Reed doesn't break his stride. God dang, bro. Pulling you along with his touch light but insistent. before you can turn around the corner. Your head twists to the side to catch a glimpse of Flavio, standing alone in the middle of the parking lot, eyes downcast, head bowed low. I hate him. Bro, you hate everything, bro. Reed scowls once he's sure you've gotten far enough for his voice not to carry. Never hated anyone more in my entire life. He can lie only once. His scent tells you the truth, even if he refuses to admit it. Not like you understand the hostility between them. Reed never wanted to talk about it much, and you're not one to pry. But he looks miserable, eyes as glassy as though he's about to cry. Who's your brother, Reed? You never gave him a chance to explain. What's there to explain? Your anger, my dude? He mutters, though without any real heat. He swore he never let them get him, and now look at him, parading around like he's proud of it. SPD agent MIA. Are you one of them, revolutionists? Maybe you wanted an out. Like you wanted an out. He blinks, taken aback. His expression clouds. Go see a therapist, brother. He didn't have to join the SPD for that. You know, we don't have much of a choice. It's either working for them or... So he traded his leash for a longer one. Is that what you're saying? Pretty much. He frowns at you, pulling his lower lip between his teeth, fighting hard as though he's trying to stay silent. What? But you... Now that you know. He sighs. Oh, you're gonna ask me would I join? You know what it means. Join the SPD? Yeah. Is this really a critical choice? Last time it wasn't. I didn't risk everything to let them take me. Not alive. Don't say crap like that. Just joking. Partially. Well, I made my bed, didn't I? There's no point in dwelling on it. I guess. He doesn't question you, and you can do nothing but return the favor, even if it means stilling your own curiosity. Let's just go back to the cabin, okay? He gives a voice that's more Morosaic chuckle, to which you can't answer in any other way but with an agreement. The rest of the way back to the car, you walk in complete silence. Reed's temper lulls down once he's stretched in his seat, but you're under no delusion that his composure is anything more than the calm before the storm. Y'all need some, bro. But it lasts for the duration of the drive back to the cabin. And even if you speak, the car glides on the asphalt. You both focus on the same person, though for slightly different reasons. Because you understand Flavio's situation better than you would like to admit. He was, for better or worse, in your shoes once upon a time. 5. Hiding from the other world. Not an easy life. Oh yeah, we're gonna make this right now. A moment like that, the last lock flickers shut behind you. Reed's throwing his jacket over the back of the couch. He's rolling his sleeves, brushing the hair out of his eyes before you can as much as a step into the room. He takes a hold of the washcloth. You start feeling like a third wheel, standing on the threshold with your hands hanging limply by your sides. It doesn't help that you know Reed's routine by heart. First he deals with the counters, then the floors, leaving the tiles in the bathroom for last. Scrubbing so hard his hands go ruddy and scraped. He says that it calms him down. And who are you to judge? He cleans when he's stressed or angry. And right now he's both of those at once. He gives me some Levi vibes. He looks worse than ever before, wiping the counter with more vigor than needed. Leave it to him, go to him. Just leave it to him. Cabin's already spotless. Haven't been thoroughly cleaned recently. Reed might deny it if I press, but you heard the rhythmic swishing of the mop up until the early morning yesterday. You won't call him out on that. You have to admit, he spent a restless night as well, tossing and turning, well, long past midnight. Do you want the bed tonight? You ask, hovering near the hallway, 1 foot already past the frame. No, I'm good. He mutters, not looking up. Okay then, I'll be turning in first. Sure, sleep well. After the nightmare of a day you just had, you well intended to. And intend you do. But that's about it. You wander to the bedroom on weak legs, fall on the bed face first, leaving your clothes on. You close your eyes expecting a swift rest. Even so, it takes hours for your troubled mind to fall into peace. But when it does, you sleep like the dead. Tonight your dreams are fully, what the freak? Calm, filled with splashes of vibrant colors, lacking any proper sense, simple creations of restless mind gone with the first flutter of your eyelids. All right, morning time, let me get it. For once you're awake without a start, laying on your back in the blackness of the bedroom, surrounded by silence. You're not sure how long your slumber lasted, only that it was a lengthy and fulfilling. Brushing the sleep out of your eyes, you slip out of the bed and leave the room. The lack of noise unnerves you, but once you step into the living room, the worry ceases. Oh, this nigga's knocked out cold, bruh. This nigga got makeup on bed, bro? If you don't dump cold water on his face and wake him up, 10 huh? Man, I hated that in boot camp. I don't know if y'all knew I went to a Christian boot camp. That junk was trash. So Reed sprawled on his back, encircled by a mountain of pillows that are usually hidden in the cabinet. It looks peaceful, as though his last night didn't happen at all. Briefly, you consider going back to sleep yourself, but the persistent need to check the phone for new messages overcomes your craving for a prolonged rest. Still, there's no need to wake Reed just because you're up. Silently, you pick up his discarded jacket and bring it with you into the hallway. You retrieve the phone from one of the inside pockets, hanging in the jacket closet. Slumping against the wall, you punch in the code. The phone unlocks the first try, and that's when it hits you. The year of Flavio's birth in reverse. So you're just telling me Reed is just a Tsundere chick. Alright. If you were unsure about Reed's feelings towards his brother, you're not anymore. There are no new messages in the inbox though, nor missed calls. Not that you expected anything so soon, but you just had to check. The longer you're awake, the more restless you become, as the reality dawns on you inexplorably. The prospect of spending 2 more weeks cooped up in the cabin is not something you're looking forward to. More so these days, since all you do lately is wait. You're not accustomed to being this helpless. This is out of control. Apparently you are in Jules' route. Well, Joel just keeps touching you like, I'm not even gonna finish that. Still surviving 2 days can't be compared to the weeks you wasted not getting any closer to solving this mystery of Victor's death. You waited this long after all. You just need a little more patience. So you take a breath, straighten your back, and return to the living room, ready for whatever is coming. Alright, brother. Expect nothing comes. Not a call, not a message, not a carrier pigeon. Not a carrier pigeon with my nudes? Where my nudes at? Absolutely nothing for the two. Why'd I assume there was gonna be nudes? Is that how they did it back then? Just, oh, please. Is this the Playboy magazine? I ruined it. Carrier pigeon. Absolutely nothing for 2, 3, and then 7 days. Flavio's phone is dead. Your last lead's severed. And starting to lose your mind from all the stress, one day at a time. Reed is sitting on the stool next to you, drumming his finger on the counter. It's a little comforting to know you're not the only one who sits, not the only one at your wit's end. Try again. You say after 15 minutes of staring at the phone, unsuccessfully willing to ring. Reed sighs, starting to shake his head. Then let me try. Pulling the phone from him, you push the green button just like that. This time, the call doesn't connect. The line is dead. What the frick is he playing at? I don't know, bruh. Maybe something happened? Or maybe he's just screwing with us. Maybe we should have never gave him the receipt. No, you don't believe it. Flavio wouldn't ghost you for no reason. Not when he's clearly willing to risk not only his career, but his life. All because his brother asked him to. Or maybe we should head back. To Lazar, I mean. Are you crazy? I'm about to be if we stay in this place for an hour longer. You can wait. Then go outside. It's not like you're a prisoner here. Which you know, you will be if the SPD lays their hands on you. Yeah, they'll be in prison, not me. Man, cue the law enforcement sound effect. Then what do you propose we do? Sit around? Well, Flavio doesn't have any landline phone as far as I know. He doesn't have a second number either. So even if he has a burner, I wouldn't know. Yeah? Second number. The business card. What do you think about it before? Your fingers are pulling out the notebook before you can finish the thought. What are you? You don't waste a second for idle explanations. Picking up the card and punching in the number. What? Shh. The call connects. Just one beep, and then the owner of the number picks up right away. Yes. A soft, quiet voice on the other side makes you hesitate. It's toneless and monotone. You're almost sure you're speaking with a telemarketer instead of the agent you were expecting to hear. Hi, it's Nika-senpai. There's a momentary silence and a sharp, almost relieved inhale before the woman speaks again. I'm guessing you're calling to ask about Flavio. There's another breath, shorter this time, then a huff as she is exhaling a cloud of smoke. He was taken into custody. What a LSPD agent. What? What? He admitted to killing Donegal. And he needed a receipt? Why? Wait, what? Why? But he didn't. I know. I was with him when he supposedly committing the murder. But you see, my word means nothing, and neither does yours. They have their murderer. The case is closed. And congratulations. You're free again. Is this the end? Or well, as free as anyone can be. Free? But what about the culprit? What about Flavio? Nothing. They don't care. If Laurent can't do anything about it, no one can. She huffs, keeping their tone annoyingly flat. So you're just going to... I'm not going to do anything because I can't. Her voice raises, wavers slightly, then returns to a previous emotionless tone. Do you have any proof of his innocence? I don't. I bet you this is freaking, I bet you this is Nino. Do you have any proof of his innocence? I don't. You want to catch a real murderer? Be my guest. Classic effing SPD. And what are you gonna do with that, Junior? Reed's frown is vicious, but his silence speaks volumes. Thought so. Look, I don't have any clearance. They want to keep it under wraps. My hands are tied, figuratively speaking. So they're fine with jailing an innocent man, their own agent, just to close the case? Are you surprised? You shouldn't be. But we're a liability for them. Nobody's going to care that one agent is gone. He can and will be replaced. Cops are always cops are always just L's, bro. Reed grins his teeth so loudly that you're sure the woman can hear it too. Before she can comment on it, a muffled voice in the distance interrupts her. She barks at something, then addresses you again, quieter this. I can't help you anymore. I'm sorry. With a click of a button, she's out, just like that. Reed swears, pushing himself off the stool. Serves him effing right. We can't just let them... I'll deal with it. It's not like I'm going to let this idiot... He thrusts his hands up, clearly agitated. Stay here, No way, I'm coming with you. You shouldn't. I'm still going. Your resolve is rewarded with a bright smile. Thank you. You don't look so shocked. Can't let you have all the fun on your own. Naturally. His shoulders relax a bit, body loosening the building tension. So what's the plan? With a loud, defeated groan, he flops onto the stool, close enough to press his thighs against yours. I'm going to call Alon. Probably the best. He's going to gloat. Most likely, but we have no other choice. He huffs, picks up the phone. The frick are we gonna do? Chapter 6, I'm my areolas. Hey yo, you good? Although due to his name starting with the first letter of the alphabet, Alon's number was indexed relatively high. To get to him, Reed has to pass nearly 40 entries of A something, compared to your own quite short list of associates. To be fair to presume, Reed has entirety of the official address book meticulously copy and pasted into his phone. Except you know that he's acquainted with every single person who details he saved. Right now, the magnitude of contacts is nothing but a hindrance. Scrolling through the register on a monotonous beep 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 of the keyboard, Reed taps the same rhythm onto the countertop with his free hand. The tempo increases once Reed presses the green button. The call goes through, but it doesn't immediately connect. Alon, as usual, takes his sweet time to pick up. When he finally does, Reed puts him on the loudspeaker. He acts mildly to be disturbed, which in itself is far from ordinary. If he's aware of your predicament, he doesn't seem too bothered. Then again, it might be because he doesn't give a crap. Reed, I take it you're calling to request assistance again. As a counter to the allegation, a slight grimace settles on Reed's brow, even as his voice imbues with a false cheer. Always the cynic. Maybe I just missed my favorite employer. Oh, color me shocked. I was unaware you had more than one. You know what I mean. You could count on the fingers of the one hand of the total number of people who can flake all the charm off Reed's persona in an instant, as if dousing him with a paint stripper, only to watch the bravado fade. Do I? Well, Reed breaks off, scowls, then physically forces himself to finish. Naturally a very resourceful man. Of course, you huffing out a sound that could be either gaiety or plain disgust. Reed interrupts mid-sentence, employing a tone that conveys both of these emotions. We've been over this. Save your flattery for someone who cares and stop wasting my time. Busy, aren't you? Reed mutters under his nose so quietly that even you barely catch it. Louder and with a marginally less bite, he concedes. I need help. Help. Through the line, you can discern a dull slap of something soft against a flat surface, then a creak of letter. Reed, at this point, you need a fucking miracle. Dang, brother. I'm persistent. At least he's obvious. He's kind of... I could use some details. Sure you could. The matter is, I'm unsure where to even begin. That doesn't bode well. The last time you checked, your only issue was hiding from the SPD. Since you spent the last weeks cooped up in a cabin as far from a Lazar you could, the only person whose skin you could get under was the mailman, who's not exactly threatening, being in Alon's pocket and all that. And so you are, to say the least, baffled to learn that somehow, without your participation, the mess you found yourself in proves to be bigger than you initially accepted it to be. Of course, Marco being mixed up in this was foreboding, but apart from the flimsy lead with the ex-SPD agent, you had a scant go on. I'll be frank, you need to get your ass out of my cabin. Okay, sir, yes sir, goddamn. The smooth wood squeaks under Reed's palm, but neither leans nor pushes himself off the counter. What? Why? Why? Alon repeats the word, making it biting and derisive. Remember when you came to beg me for the keys to the cabin? And I told you I'm not going to clean your messes? And here I'm doing just that? All I ask is for you to keep your effing head low, which of course you couldn't do. I'm not finished. You had to get yourself involved. Fine, but I don't have the time to let you run amok. Can't just throw us out. I'm not throwing you out. Alan snaps, a testimony of gravity of the situation that his immediate response, isn't it? Can't I? I'm saving you, you ungrateful piece of shit. His curt drawl comprises the part annoyance, having to justify himself, and part indignation for being questioned. Smooths quickly, taking on a cutting timbre when he finishes. You're welcome, by the way. The deviation from Alon's normal composed behavior makes Reed slide off his seat without a word edgewise. Before you can rise to follow, Alon halts you. Don't leave just yet. But you said my contact suspects you might be monitored as we speak. I suggest you hold your horses until the reinforcements arrive. God dang, the ops already pulled up? Reed freezes where he stands, facing the double door. You sent the SPD? Don't be daft. Alon, insulted by the notion, clicks his tongue in dismissal. Justified speculation, though, seeing as one of his lackeys work for the same department. Colton's on her way. Colton? Who is this broad? Make me slap you up, Colton. Charlotte Lottie Colton, Alon's right hand. Lower tail afflicted with 10% a chance of bringing reality to anything she says. She Luffy right now, what the freak? Vonk Seafree. That's kind of busted, low-key. She got a luck stat going. Colton. Yeah, bye. Alon spared his right hand instead of random flucky to playing chauffeur. You have to be in dire straits indeed, but there's no end to revelations as Alon drops another bomb of confusion without warning. Just don't open the door until you get an all clear from me. What's why? Is this the same situation with Jewel at the end? Sadly, Alon's patience is short as it is on a good day. Appears to be non-existent and confronted with the avalanche of Reed's inquests. Did you fail to deduce that given the crap show you decided to skip? I have other concerns than keeping you updated. Seriously, do you have to be like this? Do you want the conversation to be overheard by someone it shouldn't? Swearing a storm, Reed stomps towards the couch, plopping himself on it like a petulant child. The aura of acid wafts off him, grows in density. So what? You want us to twiddle our effing thumbs and do nothing? Well, shouldn't you be used to it by now? Ooh, ouch, but he's not wrong. Half an hour. I'm sure even you can last that long. Dang, bruh. He pulling it out, bro. Then can you tell me who's surveying us? Colton will fill you in. That's it? We're surrounded and possibly surrounded. Oh, great, because that makes me feel better. There's a 9mm in the safe if you're so frightened. I trust you know the code. Alan puts a strong emphasis on no, making you suspect that it should be overheard instead. Neither admitting or denying the accusation, Reed clears his throat. No traces of shame can be detected on his features. Without a yes or no, Alan surmises the former. You just love using these words, don't you? Hanging up on reminding you, Reed, that you should wait for a signal, unbolting even a single lock. Naturally, he doesn't explain why. A-hole. And here I thought I'd been playing it safe with our little hidey hole. Turns out we could get in trouble without even being present. Alon's exaggerating. You insist, because the other alternative would be pointing out that it isn't a novelty, at least not for Reed. I mean, whoever the potential intruder is, Alon didn't seem particularly distraught, didn't he? Not outwardly. You don't know him as much as Reed. Though, without relying on your gift, you are blind to his true sentiments. You know, I agreed to work with him. I've only ever seen him lose his cool, maybe thrice, excluding everything that happened after his brother died in. Reed falters. A loaded second passes. He raises his head to meet your eyes. Whatever he sees makes him backpedal. I'm sure it's nothing. It's not what he's been telling you these past weeks. Just say I told you so. I know what you wanted. Reed shakes his head. He has to be seriously perturbed if he refuses your offer. Without standing up, he rearranges himself so that he can stick his arm under his couch and dig out a flat cache. He punches in the code, reveals a thick folder with an assemble it yourself handgun. Jesus Christ. Actually with a non-existent or dead person. Official DJCS stamp included. A couple of boxes of ammo and the promised semi-automatic pistol. Nice. Or something pricey for sure. But considering it's older, that's a given. Seems to work all right. That's all you care about. Holstering the weapon. Reed tests the safety, then loads the magazine with one startling ease, reminding you that between the two of you, he's the one with the actual training. Though whether trailing after his brother can be described as training is arguable. There's a whole lot you could say about Reed's technique. Of all of the epithets that come to mind, the most fitting would be trigger happy. Oh yeah, he's trigger happy, that's for sure. What's with that look? I'm not giving you the gun if that's what you're after. And why's that? You're only asking to be on the contrary. When you prepare yourself for a joke, Reed's expression stills. Knowing him, he's ready to break his self-sacrificial spiel that you're nowhere in the mood to listen to. Whatever, keep it. Just don't shoot yourself. It seems Reed's not too keen on entertaining dark scenarios himself. Exchanging the minute frown for an indulging smile, secures the firearm to his belt, covering it with his hoodie. Fuller's eye the way that tells you he's about to fish for compliments. And you're not wrong. You miss my pretty face if I did, right? Whatever helps you sleep at night. We should get ready. Satisfied by your response or lack of argument, an elevated spirit, Reed kicks your shoes towards you, wordlessly urges you to put them on while he does the same. From time to time, you catch him glance at the entrance. It's evident that, just like you, he's itching to leave, the intruder be damned. But his faith in Alon remains unshakable, and you reach your quota of recklessness. What do you think the voyeur is? Reed asks, sprawling on the armrest in a pose that looks uncomfortable, but yet apparently is anything but. No idea. There aren't many likely suspects to choose from. None of your acquaintances you know well enough to have a reason for wanting you dead. You're a nobody. No wealth or connections. It has to be someone linked to Victor. Flavio never told you whether Rosaline was truly implicated or not, but it's safe to assume that the woman who attempted to strangle you has to be a higher up official. Otherwise, Alon would have arranged for Colton to come and get you personally. What do you think? All right, guys, and I think we're gonna stop it here. That's what I think. Baby boy, we're running out of saves on this page. Interesting. We're probably gonna have to go to the third page, just because I don't want to mess with the first page. It's kind of interesting. We're seeing the different perspectives between what will happen if we went on Reed's route now, and we're getting near to the end. We're already on chapter 6, so we have to do this chapter correctly. So hopefully all my critical choices have been correct to get chapter 7. I'm not too sure. We're gonna see when it happens. I actually wonder what got him caught. Maybe the fact that like he had the receipt, so he had proof to maybe be like, yeah, I made them do this. This is why I'm the one who killed Donegal, because he has a receipt. But I wonder if we didn't have the receipt, would he even been able to turn himself in? That's the thing. But I feel like he has a plan or something, because he turned himself in deliberately. Like it wasn't something that he just accidentally got caught for. Unless that was his case, but they said he turned himself in, so he's in custody. Maybe they just caught him, I don't know, but either way, we're gonna find out. That might be an L, that might be a W, I'm not too sure. Kind of reminds me of like Jewel, remember when we took the vow of the vow of to remove people's affliction temporarily or something like that, and we threw it at that shapeshifter in the forest in Jewel's route. It reminded me of when like we could either tell Jewel what was going on or like hide it, and that cost us an end. So maybe this might cost us an ending, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I definitely concluded that Reed is probably not my type as far as like the route that I really like. So far the route that I really like is probably Jewel's, to be honest, TBH. But yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Hopefully we can finish in the next few episodes. Either way. Thank you for supporting black business. Shake the hand. Follow the Twitter, JoshCrafts_, if you want to get updates on what I do and on the channel if I don't get to upload. Shout out to y'all for 700 subscribers. Yeah, support black business. Twitch streams, Fridays. Both through. Anyway, y'all stay blessed, keep it strong. I'm C1 to see you. Peace.